Hi everyone. Today topic we are going to discuss about is Redis cache integration in Nest.js application. So here I am going to show you a small demo using the Redis cache into Nest.js application. For Redis, if you have already installed any physical software regarding Redis, you can use it. Otherwise, my suggestion is to install Redis Docker image container. So here I am running my this is CLI command prompt and this one is my Docker command prompt. See here my Docker image, Redis image is my Docker cache. It is my Docker container. Here I am running it on port number 5003. So this entire setup of installing Docker locally and running the Redis container, I have made a small video on it. You can check in the description below. Here I am not showing anything, so you can check that video. And here I am also running the Redis CLI command where we can check our queries or our keys which are saved to the Redis store if we want. So this is all about the Redis instance I locally configured. Now let's jump into creating a small application and check the process how to use the Redis cache in Nest.js application. So let me create a small application. Command is like nest new and my application name. So this is going to create a sample application of Nest.js. I have successfully created my Nest.js application. So let me open my editor. Here I am using Visual Studio Code. So this is my Nest.js application. So before getting started, to integrate Redis cache into Nest.js application, we need to install three plugins, three packages. So those are like one is Cache Manager, which is a Node.js plugin, and another one is Cache Manager, at the rate types underscore Cache Manager, which is TypeScript supported Cache Manager. This will be acts like a wrapper to this Node.js Cache Manager. And the last one is the main Redis package, that is Cache Manager Redis Store package. So we need to install all these three packages to integrate Cache into our application. So let me install first this package, Cache Manager package. Let's go to terminal. So here the terminal, right, copy my Cache Manager install. So we got that installed, and next install the TypeScript support Cache Manager. Right, paste that command. D represents, that is dev dependency package. That is also installed. Let install last package, cache, Redis cache. Let's paste our last command. So we have successfully installed all three major packages that we required for our application. Let's check in the package.json our packages are installed or not. See, cache manager is installed and Redis cache also installed. So these are dependencies means these will be bundled for the application JS. And if you go for dev dependencies, you can see types cache. It is for development to support the TypeScript. So that's it about the packages. And the first step to enable cache into Nest.js application, we need to import the cache manager module into our app module. So let's open application module here and let's try to load cache module. So we need to import this module. And cache model comes with a method called register where we can pass our configurations, Redis configurations, which will be used by our application to make a communication channel between application and the Redis store. So in this register method, we need to pass our required configurations. So, okay. Store. Here, property store represents the which type of store we are going to use in our application to enable the cache. Here we are going to use Redis store. So we need to load the Redis store into this property. To do that, we need to import the Redis store library as into a variable. So from the library we have installed, right? Cache manager Redis store. So every information is loaded into the Redis store variable. So this variable can be assigned to my store property. So this defines the store we are going to use in our application is Redis store. Next is like host. Host is if you are in production, you need to give the Redis domain to this host property. So here I am using local Redis store, right? So I am going to assign host as localhost and port number. By default, Redis store port number is 6379, but here I am using Docker, so I exposed this 6379 port to 5003. Why this? We have to do like this, and everything is explained in the Docker Redis video. You can watch there. So here I am going to give 5003 as port number. Okay, that's it. All this is the basic configuration to set up the Redis communication with our application. So next thing is we need to inject the cache manager into our controller. So let's open a, we will use existing controller on the app controller. In this we are going to use the inject the our cache manager. So let's get rid of all the code, all existing code. Let me remove this service and also this endpoint. So first thing is I need to inject the cache instance. So for that, inject cache manager. We have to inject the cache manager. See, here we are injecting the cache manager, right? This is a token. This token will fetches the type of store that is configured in our caching module. Here we configure store, right? So this token will inject Redis store into our constructor. So the injected constructor we are going to access with a variable called as cache manager, and we are going to typecast it as cache so that we will get all predefined methods that are that can be utilized for the cache communication. So the type here we are going to use cache, that is load from cache manager. The type is cache. So cache. Here we are injecting Redis store provider and it will assigning a type as cache. So now let's create a action method that's going to save some simple string into Redis store and fetches the same string from the Redis store. So let me create an endpoint like get simple string. Okay, and here first I am going to check whether the value is already stored in the Redis store. To do that, I can use cache manager, cache manager dot get with the key. The key here specified will be used to set your data in the cache store. So let me define this key as my string. Anything you can give your key. Right. So let's make it as this. So here initially I am checking the trying to fetch the data from the Redis store. So next what I will do is, if I have data in my Redis store, I will return the data as the output from my endpoint. So let me return data as and value. Okay. For our understanding whether the data is loading from the cache or not, we will create a one more property. Like I will assign as Redis cache, right? Now, if the data is not existing in the cache, then we need to fetch our data from the database in our real-time application. Here, I am not going to integrate any database, so I am creating a fake value. in real time we are going to use the real data, not like this. So if data is not found, next step we have to do is first we need to save our data that is fetched from the database into Redis store. By saving this step, in subsequent request or next request will serve from the cache instead of calling the database. So let's save our data into Redis store. To save, we will use method called set. Set needs input parameters like key. We need to use the key, same key, right? Which key we are going to save, that key only we are going to use for fetch. So we should use same key. Next, the value. Here my database value is fake value variable. In real time, we need to store here database data. So, and I need to specify the expiration time. This is like 300 seconds, which is 5 minutes. Next, we need to return the data to user. And here I am going to load from as fake database. Right? Let me give the endpoint route. Okay. It's string cache. Let me name it as string cache. So that is our endpoint where we are going to fetch our data from the Redis cache. So let me run our application. So our application gets started. Application got successfully built, and you can see the endpoint here. Let's copy this endpoint, and our local application runs on port 3000 and access our cache endpoint. See here, for the first request, you can see data is loaded from fake database. Right? This is my data, and where it is loaded from fake database. Let me refresh it again. See, second time, data is loaded from Redis cache. You can check Redis CLI for the keys stored there. This will use all the keys stored in the Redis store. So this is, see here, my string. This key is stored from our database. Sorry, this key is stored from our Next.js application. This text is ignored. It is a default key. Whenever we open this CLI, it will show. So my string here is our application key. So hence proves that we are fetching our data from the Redis cache, right? But here we implemented a very simple string storing to the Redis store and fetching it. But in real time scenarios, we have to work with the complex object type. So let us create a one more get endpoint where we are going to save the object into Redis store and fetch it from the Redis store. For that, first let me create a model first, some dummy model. So this is my dummy model. These are my properties of my dummy model. So let's create a fake model, and let's initialize some dummy data into it. So now we are going to save this fake model into Redis store, and we will retrieve this fake model from the Redis store. So let me create a one more endpoint. So similarly, I am trying to fetch the data first from the Redis store, whether it is exist or not. So this cache manager dot get to work with the objects. Here we can define the type. Here you can see, right, intelligence T in anchor tags. So here I am going to define the type. Sorry, profile, and I am going to name this key as my object. So Redis store always saves the data into string or bytes. So here, but what we are doing is using get with a specific type. So this get method first fetches the data with the existing key my object. If the data is there, it fetches and it typecast to profile object and assign to our profile variable. So that means the object is directly is not saved as it is into the Redis store. It should be stored as string only. So these cache manager methods are implemented in such a way that they are compatible with complex object types very easily. So here we are getting the profile. Next we need to check the profile is not empty. If profile is not empty, similar way data equal to profile load from Redis cache. Okay. If data is not there, then we need to fetch from our data source. Here my data source is my fake object. So let me first save that fake object into Redis store. Await this dot cache manager set of type profile. So my key is my object and value is this dot fake model, and expiration time is like 5 minutes. So here set object, before saving our fake model into database, it implicitly serialize our profile object as JSON.stringify. Then it will save to the Redis store, right? Now we need to return our data similar to like first example. Data this dot fake model and load from fake database. So let's give some root to it. Sorry, get object cache defines name. So let's save this. Let's save it. And here you can see my new route got created. So let's try to access this endpoint. See, here it is first time read. It will load from the database. Again refresh the page. See, now it is loading from the Redis cache. Let's confirm from the CLI. Let me check the keys present in the register. See here, my object is saved in the register. So that is the main core implementation of saving and fetching the data from the register. Now this cache manager also provides few methods like delete and reset. Delete is used to remove any individual key, and reset is used to flush out the entire register data. Okay, you can, if you want, you can check that one. Let me create a small dummy endpoint. Create and delete. Okay, delete cache. This dot cache manager del. This expects simple our key. So let me give my object. Okay. So that's it. Let's give it a try. Delete API also coming. So let me refresh it again. So this object is there in cache, right? Now it's a new delete endpoint. We can clear out cache. So it's executed, deleted. Let me refresh this. See here. Again data is getting from the database because our endpoint has cleared the cache. If you want, again we can try. See, it is now loading from cache, right? Let me call this delete API and again check here. See, coming from the field. Similar way, you can use the flush, right? Not flush. Reset. We no need to specify any key. It's going to clear all the data from our register. So that's all about the main functions of our cache manager, where we can easily integrate into the application. So in the next part of this video, I am going to tell about the auto cache implementation in SJS application. It is purely built-in SJS application that uses the Redis store. I am going to explain that in next video. I think this video has delivered some useful information to you. If you have any suggestions or doubts, please mention them in the comment section, guys. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe it. And see you guys with a new video. Bye everyone.